Maria Sascha Khan, and this is the Inspiring Artist Series for Youth Arts in Action. Today I'm interviewing Putrov, former principal of the Royal Ballet and producer of an exciting new project called Against the Stream. Thank you very much for taking the time. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Well, thank you for the invitation, and thank you for taking interest in seeing me today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I'm looking forward to hearing about your journey, and I thought we'd start at the beginning, your childhood. I know that both of your parents were principal dancers in Kiev, and that's where you trained as well until you won the Prix de Lausanne. I wanted to ask you if that was your inspiration to dance, and if that's what's motivated you, or if there was something else, on top of that inspired you.
Yes, well, I'm second generation dancer. My mother was a star at the Ukrainian National Ballet, and dad danced some solos. He wasn't a principal, but
okay.
I grew up surrounded by art, by music, by dance, and now thinking back how wonderful and lucky I was to have such a surrounding. Perhaps for the kids, when they grow up, they see the world of their parents and they think that's the norm.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I was interested in so many other little things that kids are interested in. Parents were traveling the world and were bringing everything they could from their tours in Japan, in Europe, including different films that were not available in USSR. So for me, someone like Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee was so inspiring and inspirational.
Yeah,
so that's what I wanted to do.
My brother's also like
yes.
Yeah.
So that was the kid's dream.
Yeah.
My mum tricked me into a ballet school, saying that if I'll start ballet, they'll stretch me and I can kick my legs just like that, like those actors on the videos. And yeah, I fall for that. I went in, but I went into the school saying I will never go on stage. I think many kids forget what they said within a couple of hours, and so did I. So I was on stage after a year, I think, in a ballet school with the National Ballet of Ukraine, dancing a little part in a ballet called Forest Song by Lesya Ukrainka. And it was so exciting going on stage. It was nerve-breaking but exciting and mesmerizing at the same time, and that's it. There's no way back after that.
Yeah.
And I'm still that little kid. If you see me in the side of the wings, side of the stage in the wings right before, I still experience the same. I still experience this excitement, and you don't know what's going to happen, but you do. But you wanted to do it. You prepared for months and months and months for this moment of truth. So yes, going back to my journey, my dancers, my parents were dancers, and I guess continuing their line. Yeah.
So that's interesting to hear about this experience that you had the first time you went on stage, and to hear now, for example, that you've gone into more producing and being on the part of creating what's going on stage in that capacity. So do you still have that same feeling and that same kind of, I'm sure you're nervous before project premieres. For example, your new premiere is going to be on April 7th of Against the Stream. Yeah.
Well, interestingly, what is dance? Dance is a way of expressing yourself. And dance isn't the only way of expressing yourself. I think it's the most wonderful way of expressing yourself. However, it's not the only one. And I have found another way of expressing myself through putting a meaningful project together, through saying something by having a project, a performance put together. This new project is also so exciting for me, and it's just the first performance, inaugural evening at this beautiful theatre that is Coliseum, where we are now. It's called Against the Stream, and it's a tribute to those personalities who have influenced the world of dance beyond recognition, with their talent, with their example, with persistence of their vision. It's very important to try to go back to the origins of the creation.
Yeah.
And I feel that, you see, at the Royal Ballet, we hear, we know the stories, we know the legends, we know how the ballets were created, we know why they were created in this way, we know who danced them, and how and what. And because of all this knowledge, the nuances that the Royal Ballet dancers will have are different and have such a bigger variety of emotional level and knowledge of what the pieces are. Because some things cannot be written in a Spanish notation, however helpful and great it is.
Yeah.
Some things could not be learned from videos.
Yeah.
Dancers from New York dancing Balanchine have a completely different energy to anywhere else I've seen.
Yeah.
And this is the tradition, this is the energy that came from the cradle of where it was created.
I wanted to ask as well, you know, when you're putting together a production of this depth and this scope, you know, and from what you've been expressing as well, you've really thought through a lot of the depth of it and a lot of really the integrity of what you're wanting to present. What are a few of the difficulties you encounter in taking over the position of, you know, producer as opposed to being the one that is yourself on stage presenting the work?
Well, this rush before going on stage, and excitement and great satisfaction if everything went well, although it's so brief, you won't believe it. How brief satisfaction of having a good performance is. You invest hours and days and weeks and months and sometimes years, yeah. And then it happens and it's so joyful and wonderful and it's gone.
I guess that in a way is art, isn't it?
Putting together a program, a meaningful program like Men in Motion or Against the Stream, when it really means something, when it's not just a commercial theatre on stage, when it's not a craft of, we do this for people's time passing, but if we do it to inspire, if we do it to show something, if it's a vehicle for us to explain ourselves, it becomes different. And the satisfaction of putting something together for months and months, sometimes it's not easy, but if all goes well, it's just as exciting as dancing on stage. So for me, the rush is similar.
What do you hope that perhaps even these students from English National Ballet or those in the audience will perhaps take away as an inspiration from this evening or from your work?
I do it for others, but I also do it for me. So I do it for this satisfaction for myself. And also because I have something to say and I want to say it. And putting a program like this together is a way of expressing myself.
So, just one last question to finish off. If you had one piece of advice to offer some, you know, well, preferably maybe young artists, because I feel like they're the ones that still have so much to develop and to grow, but artists in general, what do you think you might share from your experience and your journey until now?
Be true to yourself, and if you are doing something, invest everything into it. Don't do half measures. If you're not ready to give your full to it, it's probably not what you should be doing. But if you are, give everything to it. Also another advice, I guess, I hate giving advices, I'm sorry, I think it's very patronizing. But
someone can
don't give up, don't give up.
Yeah.
It's only you who decides whether it's worth it. It's only you who decide that you want to do it. And if you want to do it, then it's worth it. Yeah. And the strength is not how strong you are to lift or to do something, but how many times, if you are beaten down, you can get up and do it.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
your
very
time.
much.
I really appreciate it. So I hope everyone will enjoy, and I'm looking forward to seeing it myself.
Yes.
So your first very inaugural performance of Against the Stream, August 7th, here at the London Coliseum.
April
And,
7th.
I'm sorry. I'm like, what, 5 months
April
ahead of
7th.
time?
But maybe August 7th as well.
Maybe, somewhere else. You did say it's going to tour. So April 7th at the London Coliseum, and I'm sure it's going to be a great success. Thank you so much.
Yes, please come. Thank you.
Thank you. So this was our Inspiring Artist series, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.